Aloha, everyone. Welcome to the Senate Committee on Labor, Culture, and the Arts. Today is Friday, February 5th, 2021. It's 5 minutes after 3, and we are in conference room 225. Members of my committee are, I'm Brian Taniguchi, the chair. My vice chair is Senator Leslie Hara. We also have Senator Stanley Chang, Senator Jared Keoho-Kalole, and Senator Kurt Favela. Prior to proceeding, I have a few housekeeping announcements. This meeting, including the audio and video of remote participants, is being streamed live on YouTube. You will find links to viewing options for all Senate meetings on the live and on-demand video page of the legislature's website. In the possible event that we have to abruptly end this hearing due to major technical difficulties, the committee will reconvene to discuss any outstanding business on Monday, February 8th at 3 p.m. in room 225. And a public notice will be posted on the legislature's website. If you would like to submit written testimony for our viewers, you are still able to. You have until midnight today to submit on the legislative website. So with that, we'll proceed to the hearing. The first 13 bills are all relating to public employment cost items. These are for 13 of our 15 bargaining units, and so they're basically the blank at this time because none of the agreements have been negotiated to completion yet. Just for public information, Unit 1 is non-supervisory employees in blue-collar positions. Unit 2 is supervisory employees in blue-collar positions. Unit 3 is supervisory employees in white-collar positions. Unit 4 is supervisory employees in white-collar positions. Unit 5 is are teachers and other personnel of the Department of Education. Unit 6 are educational officers and other personnel of the Department of Education. Unit 7, faculty at the University of Hawaii and the community college system. Unit 8 are personnel of the University of Hawaii and the community college system. Unit 9, registered professional nurses. Unit 10 are institutional health and correctional workers. Unit 11, firefighters. Unit 13 are professional and scientific employees who cannot be included in any of the other bargaining units. And Unit 14 are state law enforcement officers. So we have 13 bills that cover those. Those are Senate Bills 1069, 1070, 1071, 1072, 73, 1074, 1075, 1076, 1077, 1078, 1079, 1080, and 1081. So we have, I believe, 2 people that have requested to Zoom and testify, and that would be, and we have supportive testimony on all of these bills, but on Senate Bill 1070, we have HGEA, Mr. Pereira, to testify. Oh, Michelle.
Hi, good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the committee. Michelle Kurihara-Klein on behalf of Randy Pereira, our Executive Director, and the Hawaii Government Employees Association. So to expedite the process, we will be standing on our written testimony in support of all of the blank vehicle measures that pertains to our collective bargaining units. We represent units 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 13, and 14. I'd be happy to answer any questions of any of the committee members should they have any. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We also have for Senate Bill 1073, the Hawaii State Teachers Association, Corey Rosenlee, the president. Corey?
Thank you, Chair Tanaguchi. Corey Rosenlee, President of the Hawaii State Teachers Association. We will stand on our testimony and support and be here for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. So, like I said, we've received written testimony from various people, from 3 people for most of the bills in support and none in opposition at this point. Do we have any questions from members? Okay, no questions from members. Thank you. We'll proceed to Senate Bill 431. This is relating to the employees' retirement system. This requires the employees' retirement system to submit to the legislature certain annual reports through 2026. Extends the effective date of certain sections of Act 87, Session Laws of Hawaii 2015 to January 1st, 2026, to provide state and county departments and agencies with additional time to comply with new employees' retirement system reporting standards. Okay, so first up, we have the employees' retirement system, Mr. Williams.
Chair Tanaguchi, Vice Chair Ihara, I'm Tom Williams with the Employees Retirement System, and again, I'd like to express my appreciation for the opportunity to testify on Senate Bill 431. You've described the rationale for the bill, and I just want to add a couple of comments. We have been working very closely with our multiple employers over the last several years to improve and have their reporting, employer reporting of both employer and employee contributions to the ERS meet our technical requirements. And we have come to learn that it represents challenges not only for the employers, but for the ERS as well. We have made considerable progress, but it is clear to us that we do need additional time. We support an extension of the time for compliance. I believe the bill suggests, as proposed, perhaps an extension of 5 years. If you recall, we had a bill similar to this a year ago where there was a comparable request, and we testified that we would like to see an extension of no more than 3 years with the opportunity for 2 one-year extensions if conditions warranted the same. And that is similar to the request we would propose this bill and this time around as well. Rather than a 5-year extension, we would like to assure ourselves that both of us work conscientiously toward fulfilling these requirements. We think that 3 years ought to be sufficient, but at the same time, we recognize that there may be unforeseen circumstances such as occurred this year, where COVID-19 caused delays in the advancement of progress between our organizations, between us and the employers. Of course, there are budget issues that may accrue as well if we continue in an environment such as we're in. So we propose a 3-year extension, 2 one-year extensions, beyond that at the discretion of the ERS. We would ask your consideration of the same, and I would appreciate and thank you for the opportunity to testify, and I'm available to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. For the City and County of Honolulu, Mr. Andy Kawano, or City and County. We can't. Okay.
Okay. So sorry. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm Jennifer Tobin from the City and County. I'm here on behalf of Directors Kawano, Ono, and Wong to testify in strong support of Senate Bill 431. We have provided written testimony, so I'll just be brief. The bill would provide an extension to the deadline set by Act 87 for employers to provide information to the ERS in the format they prescribe or face very stiff penalties. As noted in our testimony, the city has been providing some of this information electronically to the ERS since before the law was enacted in 2015. But we remain, and we do remain committed to providing the information as prescribed. However, even with all parties working very hard on this project, it has remained extremely challenging and we will not be able to meet the deadline. The penalties are severe, essentially requiring we pay an entire year's estimated contributions at the beginning of the fiscal year, and this is something we can't afford to do. So accordingly, we ask for your support of Senate Bill 431, and thank you for the opportunity to testify, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Thank you. Do we have any questions from members? Okay. You've heard the testimony, I think, from Ms. Tobin. You've heard the testimony from the ERS. Can we go with 3 years for now and maybe come back?
Yeah, certainly, there's comfort level with 5 years, but certainly 3 years with the 2 years as they had suggested would be, we would appreciate that.
Okay. Thank you. Further questions from members? Okay, thank you. We will proceed to Senate Bill 675. This is relating to the Hawaii Employer Union Health Benefits Fund. This amends the definition of employee beneficiary to retain beneficiary status of unmarried adult children incapable of self-support after the death of a retired member. I think we only have written testimony from the EUTF. I'm sorry, they provided comments. So we have their comments. With that, do you have any questions? Maybe I can answer any questions. We heard this bill last year, and so we're still working on it. So we'll proceed to Senate Bill 670. This is relating to the employment of a minor. This allows minors to work in theatrical employment provided that the employer procures a valid certificate and the minor is accompanied by a parent or guardian and a student, teacher, or nurse. Studio teacher or nurse, sorry. And it requires other things. Let's see. So we have a number of people testifying. First up, we have the Hawaii Iron Workers Stabilization Fund, Mr. Makana Paris.
Aloha, Chair Taniguchi, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Happy Aloha Friday.
Same to you.
Sorry. We stand in support of the bill before you, asking for adequate supervision and advocate of an adult makua for keiki and young adults on sets. Mahalo for your consideration.
Okay, thank you. We have Irish Barber for the IATSE Local 665.
Aloha, Chair Taniguchi, Vice Chair Ihara, and members of the committee. Mahalo so much for allowing us to reintroduce this bill, which was a victim of the pandemic last year. We appreciate the committee's continued support of film industry workers. We stand on our written testimony and are available to answer any questions.
Thank you. We also have Marianne Tesoro from the IATSE Local 665. Marianne.
Aloha,
Marianne.
Chair Taniguchi. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today. I stand on my written testimony and would just like to offer a few comments. Currently, I'm working on an episode of, I'm trying to start the video. Sorry, it's asking me to start the video. Here it is. Okay. On an episode of Magnum PI. We have a 6-week-old infant little Mateo, who was hired to work for a couple of days, and we're now going into our second week with him. They all fell in love with him, and they're writing him into the script more and more. The mom is super happy. Everything's going extremely well. We do have a nurse on set, and I'm there to make sure that everything is safe, with the lights not being too strong on his little eyes, his face. When the bell rings, that we know the scene is going to start, that there's safety for not tripping over the cables, and we needed to heat up his bottle, how we can get hot. There's just so many things that are going on set, safety-wise, that we need to be careful and watchful of, that we feel it's really necessary to have a teacher there no matter what the age. And I really now realize in California why they have that ruling that there must always be a teacher on set no matter what the age of the minor. Just having worked with little Mateo the last couple of weeks, I feel that it's extremely necessary. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. We also have testimony from the Motion Picture Association. Arlen Valdivia.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Arlen Valdivia, and I'm here on behalf of the Motion Picture Association. I wanted to echo the sentiments of our written testimony. We have collaborated and worked closely with our union partners to amend this bill so it reflects the language that we've agreed to with regards to parents accompanying minors the age of 1 and up until school age, and not requiring a studio teacher until a child performer is of school age. I'm here to answer any questions should you have any, but appreciate your time.
Thank you. That was the last, I guess, Zoom testifier. Do we have any questions from members? Okay. Thank you. We'll proceed to the next bill. This would be Senate Bill 382, relating to payments of support. This includes tips or gratuities paid directly to an individual by a customer of the employer and reported or declared to the employer under the definition of income withheld by employers for payments of child support, child or spousal support. We have one testifier, but no Zoom testifiers. So, Chair would just note that we had this bill last year and we did some work on it. So, because of the pandemic, it didn't get out. So we're moving on what we basically did last year, I think. Yeah. Okay. With that, we will proceed. Any questions from members for my testimony? If not, we'll proceed to Senate Bill 614. This is relating to taxation. It retroactively exempts from state income tax unemployment compensation received from March 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2020. Requires the Department of Taxation to retroactively refund state income tax deducted and withheld from individuals for unemployment compensation during that time period. First up, we have 5 people testifying on Zoom. First up would be the Department of Taxation and the Director, Mr. Isaac Choi.
Thank you, Chair, Vice Chair, for the opportunity to testify. Let me summarize my testimony. This bill exempts from state income tax unemployment compensation from Q1 2020 to December 31st, 2020. Second portion of the bill requires that the deposits withheld are refunded to the claimant for the same period. Just 2 points on the bill as written. The exemption from unemployment, for unemployment from state taxation for that period will cost $145 million. Okay, and second, the portion that says we have to refund the withholding, that's all, people are already into their filing season, so they would have to file their return to get a refund. An additional comment to my testimony is if you're going to make the state unemployment compensation not taxable, then it's only fair to add an amendment to the bill. PUA, which is the pandemic unemployment insurance, should also be exempt from taxation. The PUA portion will cost $46 million. Okay, so the total cost of this bill, including PUA amendment, would be $191 million. This tax expenditure is not contemplated in the executive budget. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. We have testimony from the Tax Foundation of Hawaii, Mr. Yamachika.
Senator, this is Lisa. Tom Yamachika and Susan Ignacio are not present in the Zoom meeting.
Okay, thank you. So we'll proceed to the Hawaii Iron Workers Stabilization Fund. Mr. Paris.
Aloha again,
Aloha.
Chair Taniguchi, Vice Chair Ihara, Senators Chang and Keakolole. It's like Makana Paris here on behalf of Managing Director T. George Paris for the Hawaii Iron Workers Stabilization Fund. We stand in support of SB 614 for one primary reason. Working families all across Hawaii are financially drowning. SB 614 would provide worker relief, especially to the most vulnerable that have been impacted with unemployment for the past year. We understand that there's a constitutional mandate to balance the budget and that there's hard choices and deliberations that must be done. So we want to wish you all the well as you figure out how best to balance the budget and support our working families during these challenging times. Mahalo for your consideration. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Aloha.
Thank you, Mr. Paris. We also have testimony from the IATSE Local 665, Tui Ana Scanlon, sorry. Scanlon?
Aloha, Chair, Vice
Aloha.
Chair, members of the committee. My name is Tui Scanlon. I'm President of IATSE Local 665. We stand on our written support, our written testimony in strong support of SB 14, and am available for any questions.
Thank you. Those are the Zoom testifiers. We also have another 60 or so people in support. There are also 2 in opposition. So, do we have any questions from members on this bill? Questions from members? Okay, I guess Chair had a quick question for the Director of Taxation.
Yes.
Mr. Choi, yeah, I'm glad you got the numbers. Yeah, we hadn't seen the numbers on the impact, the financial impact. Is it possible for us to maybe, instead of the whole amount, maybe like 50% or something, or a portion of it, depending on how our finances go?
Absolutely. You can apportion it any way you would like.
Okay, well, my druthers at this point would probably be to pass it over to Ways and Means and kind of let them figure some things out. But maybe in the committee report, we can kind of reflect that maybe a portion of it can be done, and that might be at least some help to our people on unemployment who receive unemployment benefits, but yet not impact so heavily the state budget. But anyway, maybe we'll stick that in our committee report.
So let me at least repeat, the bill as written will cost $145 million, and if you put the poor portion on it, there'll be an additional $46 million, making the total amended bill $191 million, and it's not in executive.
Okay, thank you.
Chair.
Senator Keakolole?
The good director read my mind. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I had a question.
Yeah, Senator Chang.
Again, for the director, thank you for those cost estimates. I know that there's been discussion about exempting food from the GET as well. Do you have just a back of the envelope figure, director, on how much fiscal impact of that measure would be?
Okay. No, Senator, I do not at this time, but always remember that our GET is based on a broad base, tax base, and if you exempt food from that tax base, the tax expenditure is going to be pretty huge. I would guess that, probably, I don't know, maybe $2 billion out of the 4 weekly court.
$2 billion with a B?
Yeah. But that's a guess now, Senator, and I will get that figure to you. Because you're exempting food, you want to exempt food, right? For everybody.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be, everybody eats. So it's probably going to be huge.
Thank you, Director. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Further questions for any of our testifiers? Okay. If not, we'll recess the public hearing. Welcome back. This is the Committee on Labor, Culture and the Arts. We have a hearing today on a number of bills. We are now in decision making for the bills that we just heard. With regard to the collective bargaining bills, this would be Senate Bills 1069, 1070, 1071, 1072, 1073, 1074, 1075, 1076, 1077, 1078, 1079, 1080, and 1081. Chair is going to recommend that we pass with amendments and just make technical non-substantive amendments. Any discussion? If not, Senator Ihara.
Chair, shall we take the vote all at once?
Take it in one vote.
Okay. So members, you've heard the recommendation to pass the 13 bills with amendments. Chair Taniguchi?
Aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Chang?
Aye.
Senator Keoho Kaulole?
Aye.
Senator Favela?
Aye.
Recommendations for all 13 bills have been adopted.
Thank you, members. We'll proceed to Senate Bill 431. This is relating to the Employees Retirement System. This is the extension of time. Chair is going to recommend we pass with amendments and that we take the ERS recommendation for a 3-year extension to 2024. We'll also amend Section 4 of Act 87 to become effective July 1st, 2021, and make technical and non-substantive amendments. Any discussion?
No.
If not, Senator Ihara.
Members, we're voting on the Chair's recommendation to pass Senate Bill 431 with amendments. Chair Taniguchi?
Aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Chang?
Aye.
Senator Keoho Kaulole?
Aye.
Senator Favela?
Aye.
Recommendations adopted.
Thank you, members. We'll proceed to Senate Bill 675. This is relating to the Employer Union Health Benefits Fund. This is for the unmarried adult child incapable of self-support. Chair recommend we pass with amendments. We'll defect the date for further discussion and make technical non-substantive amendments. Any discussion? If not, Senator Ihara.
We're voting on the Chair's recommendation to pass Senate Bill 675 with amendments. Chair Taniguchi?
Aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Chang? I'm sorry, Senator Keoho Kalole,
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Recommendation is adopted.
Thank you, members. We'll proceed to Senate Bill 670. This is relating to the employment of a minor. This is, again, we had this bill last year. Chair recommend we pass with amendments. We'll make an amendment to clarify that studio teacher and nurse not required when the minor is not under the age of 1, and when minor not required to be in school. We'll make amendment to specify that the minor must be accompanied by a parent, guardian, or a responsible adult designated by the parent or guardian to supervise and advocate on behalf of the minor. We'll make an amendment to clarify that the nurse shall be hired by the employer. Amend to clarify that a studio teacher shall be required when a minor is under 16 years of age and legally required to attend school, and shall accompany, teach, and attend to the health, safety, and well-being of the minor. We'll also defect the date and make technical, non-substantive amendments. Any discussion? If not, Senator Ihara.
Members are voting on the chair's recommendation to pass Senate Bill 670 with amendments. Chair Taniguchi.
Aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Chang.
Aye.
Senator Keoho Kalole.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Reservations?
Recommendations adopted.
Thank you. We'll proceed to Senate Bill 382. This is relating to payments of support. Let's see. Yeah, this is regarding tips and payments of child or spousal support. This is a bill we had last year, and the AG made some requested some amendments, and so it was included in the bill that we introduced this year, that was introduced this year by, I believe, Senator Gabbard. And so we will pass this as is. Any discussion?
Okay, we're voting on the chair's recommendation to pass Senate Bill 382 unamended. Chair Taniguchi.
Aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Chang.
Aye.
Sorry, that's aye. Senator Keoho Kalole.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Recommendations adopted.
Thank you, members. Last bill, Senate Bill 614, relating to taxation. This is the bill that retroactively exempts state income tax for unemployment compensation for last year. Chair would recommend that we pass with amendments. We amend to exempt the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, PUA, income along with the UI income. We amend to allow taxpayer to credit withheld amounts against tax liability rather than have the amounts refunded. We'll defect the date to facilitate further discussion and make technical and non-substantive amendments for clarity. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Senator Keoho.
Thank you. I'm not sure if you've seen the clarification, but since we had the discussion about the food, about the GET exemption for food, I believe DOTAC came back and wanted to clarify their suggestion that the cost of that measure would potentially be around 250 million and not 2 billion. I just wanted to make a note of that during discussion on this measure, since the number was discussed during the testimony period. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Further discussion?
Okay, members, you've heard the chair's recommendation to pass Senate Bill 614 with amendments. Are there any objections or reservations? Any noes or reservations to the chair's recommendation?
Reservation.
Reservation for Senator Favela. Otherwise, I'll cast an aye vote for the other members. The recommendation is adopted.
Okay, thank you. I believe that's it. Staff? Yeah, okay, thank you. We'll recess.